Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Going Peons. This is a basic difficulty system using command blocks and various redstone techniques, if you will. There's not much techniques in the basics of this difficulty system right here, but I mean, it's quite obvious what it does. Sets your game to easy, normal, or hard. Now, this, by looking just at this, changes a bunch of options rather than your traditional Minecraft standard option, which would be to change game to easy generalization in that way, generally. It generally changes the game to easy. This instead puts it in an in-game perspective where the person, without going out of their game or going into their game modes in TMI, instead can actually go into game and click the button, which will change game rules. Now I haven't put the command block output to false, so you're going to be able to see all this. But it pretty much sets the game to easy and changes a few things around. Now, 5 of them are always here, as of the other ones, just so it's balanced in that respect. There's not going to be something different, but there's always going to be something different because of the difficulty type. Because this is easy, this block here says that it's been set to easy. It's just easier for the person to, get a response back from it, just to know that it's worked. You don't want to click it and then not get anything back. That's, you just don't know, like, did that work? Yeah, you do get a flashing light, but I mean, you don't know if it's actually done anything. But anyway, so this is pretty much all the game rules set to an easy kind of perspective. Now you got do mob spawning set to false, so no mobs will spawn. This is good for, well, if you want to play easy, this is pretty much the easiest that it can get. You do keep inventory when you die. Mobs will not grief. Fire will not spread. Difficulty is set to easy. Now, if you was to go to normal, it does look like the same thing. Now, down here, you might have noticed, it's all connected to a single wire which goes up this and sets the spawn point of the team. Now, this should really exist anyway, mainly for, if you want to play an adventure map and you want to, like, you spawn in a room where you want to select your difficulty, you have to kind of select one of them before you can really progress. That's why you'd have, like, an iron door maybe that will only activate when you click one of these and wouldn't activate ever again afterwards, but you can still change your game mode. I'm going to come to this in a minute. But anyway, so yeah, what this does is go all around here and sets the spawn point. Now, mainly this is here because of the little add-on that we got here, hardcore mode. This is sort of it's like a choice, I would think, like a little choice you can add to your difficulty setting to make the game just that much more interesting. But it isn't a difficulty setting in itself. It's just a decision that you want to make, like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to have this much players in my game, something like that, which will change difficulty around a bit. So this is hardcore. You click this and it turns hardcore on. Now, as you see, it's changed my spawn point. Now, this isn't a case of when you die, it deletes your character, because I can't really do that. But it's sort of like an in-game hardcore system where it will pretty much change the spawn points on the map, so there is only one spawn point being taking you to this lava pit. Now, obviously, yeah, you can get out of it. I mean, if I were to kill myself, you could just go creative and get out of it. But you're always going to end up in here. No matter how hard you try, you're always going to end up in there. Unless you were to take it off now. Of course, then it changes my game mode back to its previous game mode, which will then teleport me right onto the spawn point right here, as all this one does. And I'm going to show you how this works. So there's pretty much a little, fairly simple system here. This pretty much changes my spawn point. No, whenever this is being powered. Now, I've set it to a lever, not a button, because it's like a lever is always a decision, isn't it? So this is a redstone thingamajig, redstone power source right here, which will say whenever this is powered off, on, it will say that hardcore has been taken off. Now, because this is not being powered, this isn't being powered at the same time. I can show you this right here. And also this says hardcore on. This isn't being powered, so this kind of means hardcore off. And when I say that, I mean hardcore is on, so this has been removed. And now whenever I make a decision, because usually when you click one of these, it changes your spawn point. If I want to go to easy, now it will not change my spawn point because hardcore is set to on, and it will forever be that spawn point unless hardcore is set to off, of which it will then change the spawn point to the default spawn point if you were to do easy, medium, or hard. Now, I would have done it where if you wanted to play hard, then that would be hardcore, but I thought it was actually a better idea if you gave the players a choice. If you want a bit of difficulty, but you don't want to like start all over again, then that sort of makes sense there. But if I was to pull that again, this gets powered when it goes along here, powers this piston, and not powers this piston, that powers the piston, and that powers. This goes all the way around to power the spawn point block. Then on also, you know, you can keep going around and setting the spawn point as you please. Yeah. And then I've showed you normal. It's the exact same thing. I'll show you hard. I'm gonna just have a quick look here. Um, Mob spawning set to false. Inventory is set to false. Mob griefing is set to false. Fire spread is set to true, and difficulty is set to normal. Now this one is the hard command blocks here. Do mob spawning true. Inventory false. Mob griefing true. Do fire tick true, and difficulty is set to hard. Now, you know, it's much better than the traditional Minecraft system of change difficulty right here. Nothing really probably happens when you do this. It just makes mobs. It just changes damage numbers around. So you know, mobs are slightly harder to kill. You take more damage from them, stuff like that. Instead, what this does is change how the game works. So you can actually do a lot of different ways of making an adventure map here. Maybe there's a section where a fire spread will happen. You have like a time limit to do that place before you burn alive. If you were to play on easy, that time limit would not exist because nothing would burn. If you were playing on hard, that time limit would exist. You get what I mean? It's different because it's kind of made to be more difficult in that respect. But anyway, yeah, that's my basic difficulty system for Minecraft using redstone and command blocks in, you know, sort of an in-game setting. And this is just fantastic for adventure maps starting off. But once again, this is a very basic system. I hope to make a much more advanced system right here. But if you enjoyed this, you want to see more, don't forget to like, first subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.